Welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Sam Menzie, and we have a great show for you today. First topic we'll be covering is recapping the American League game from yesterday. After that, we'll be going into the National League. Then we'll be talking about some standout players so far in the start of the season. And after that, we'll be finishing off with some general news stories around the league. So now, before we do that, I'd like to ask you to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read on the air, please use the link gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get into our first segment of the day today. So we will be starting off the show like most times now in the regular season, which is recapping the games that happened yesterday. We'll be starting with the AL games today, that happened yesterday. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So first AL game we had was Blue Jays Astros. Starting off this game here, pretty low-scoring game. Start off going into the bottom of the fourth. You had Jose Altuve hitting his second home run of the year, making it 1-0 Astros in the bottom of the fourth. Now the game would not progress really past that point until the ninth. It was really just a big pitching duel. And then in the top of the ninth, the big blow came for the Astros as Davis Schneider hit his second home run of the year, scoring Dalton Varsho a 2-run homer, making it 2-1 Blue Jays, and ultimately giving them the win. The Astros could not come back. So a really just negative loss for the Astros here. Josh Hader gets a blown save in one of his first appearances as an Astro. 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and a walk and a homer, of course. So yeah, not a great real start to his Astros tenure there, and kind of a big blow to the Astros here. They just got off some great momentum off the no-hitter and are now 1-5 to start the year. So really not a great start for them whatsoever. But I think if we know anything about the Astros, it's that we know that they'll come back. They're an amazing team, and I wouldn't be that worried, but still not great. As I said, the game was low scoring, so of course there were some pitching duels. We had Framber Valdez, the Astros certified ace, go 7 2/3, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts, no walks. So an absolute ace outing by Framber Valdez, their ace. That's what you needed to do. That's what an ace looks like right there. So an amazing start by Valdez. Ryan Plessy was thawed out of the bullpen as well, giving you a third inning there. The Blue Jays also were very solid. Jose Barrios went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, but only 1 earned run. Three walks, which was a little concerning, and only 2 strikeouts, but still a great start by him. And if he can keep it up, they're in for a great season, and the pitching depth in the Blue Jays will become very important. Yimei Garcia and Tim Mesa were also great out of the bullpen, including Chad Green, who got the save. So really nice job by the pitching altogether to wrap it up. Next AL game we're talking about is Orioles. We go to the top of the second here. Nick Lofton hit a RBI single to score Garrett Hampson, making it 1-0 Kansas City in the top of the second. Then in the same inning, Michael Garcia hit an RBI double, scoring 2, making it 3-0 Kansas City. So a really nice job by them to jump out on the starting pitcher early and get some runs early. Then, bottom of the third, Colton Cowser hit an RBI double to make it 3-1, trying to get the Orioles to come back a little, but it will be no match as top of the fourth, Michael Garcia with an RBI triple. Was a single and was very close to the cycle yesterday, I will say, and scoring Nick Lofton to make it 4-1 Kansas City in the top of the fourth, and no one would score after that. So pretty high scoring in the start, but nothing really came after it. So interesting game there. Looking at the pitching box scores here now, Cole Irvin pitched for Baltimore. He was less than great. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Not great at all. You definitely want more from him. Obviously, he's not going to be an ace or really a high-level pitcher at all. But at the same time, he's still a guy that is going to pitch significant innings for you, a guy you really would like to perform very well this season. So that is concerning if you are an Orioles fan. You hope he can do better in the future. For Kansas City, they had Alec Marsh going on the mound here. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Really just a great job starting by him. It's not really a guy I had on my radar to look out for when the season started, but is doing really nice so far. So that's really positive for the Royals right now. They can use all the pitching depth they can get, even though I do think their pitching rotation is pretty good. Injuries always happen, and if I'm a Royals fan, I'd be very excited with how Alex Marsh did perform. John Schleber, who they just acquired from Boston, was also great out of the pen, going an inning in relief and giving up no runs. New signing Will Smith was also great, going 1 inning, giving up no runs, getting the save. So really nice job by the pitching altogether of the Royals, new and improved, and it's a great job that it is performing up to its standards. Next, we are going to be talking about Angels Marlins here. In the top of the fourth, Aaron Hicks hit his first home run as a Los Angeles Angel, making it a 1-0 lead. He then hit an RBI single, making it 2-0. And Taylor Ward in the same inning, the top of the sixth, making it 3-0 for the Angels. So really nice job by them to get out early and get a commanding lead. Bottom of the ninth, Brian De La Cruz hit his first home run of the season, making it 3-1. But nothing else would come of it, and the Angels would have beat the Marlins in a low-scoring game yesterday, I should say, 3-1 Angels. So Marlins had their ace, Jesus Luzardo, on the mound. Was less than stellar, I will say. Was not great. 5 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 home run. Not a great start to the season for him. They need him to really be that ace to step up this year with Sandy Alcantara being gone, with Yuri Perez getting hurt. So he definitely needs to be better than this so far. 4.35 ERA in 2 games. Definitely need more out of him, especially against a weak lineup like the Angels. Angels had Tyler Anderson going, his first start of the season, going 7 innings pitched, only giving up 4 hits and no earned runs, only 2 walks and also 5 strikeouts. So a really strong outing by him, a guy they placed on waivers at the end of the year because they didn't want him so much. So a really nice job by him to have a great start and show the Angels that he's still got something left in the tank. Could potentially be a valuable trade piece at the deadline if he does pitch really well. Next, we'll be doing a playoffs matchup, which is Rangers-Rays. Bottom of the third here, going in, Yandy Diaz hit an RBI single to Leody Taveras, scoring Jose Caballero, making it 1-0 Tampa early in the third. After that, Randy Arozarena hit some insurance, getting in the bottom of the fifth, making it 2-0 Tampa with a RBI single. Isaac Paredes in the same inning hit the real big shot, which is a 3-run homer, scoring Harold Ramirez and Randy Arozarena, making it 5-0 Tampa. So a really great job by the offense to come clicking on all cylinders there. Jonah Hyman at the top of the seventh, try getting the Rangers back in the game a little bit, hitting an RBI single, making it 5-1, and would also hit another RBI single in the top of the ninth, making it 5-2. But it would just be exercise of utility at that point, as the Rays would end up winning 5-2. So a really strong game by the Rays here. Really nice job for them to beat a good Rangers team. Andrew Heaney was okay. 4 2/3, 3 runs, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. Not great. Obviously got a little unlucky, only giving up 1 earned run. But still, again, you really want Andrew Heaney to be better than this going into the season. He's going to be a guy you rely on big time, and I think he needs to be better. I think all Rangers fans would agree on that. For the Rays, you had Zach Leflin going. He went 6 1/3, giving up only 5 hits, 1 earned run, and 5 strikeouts. So a really great job by Zach Leflin. Has really performed since coming over to Tampa Bay from Philly. Has been a really good starting pitcher for them and continues this year so far in the short time. Next game we'll be talking about is White Sox-Braves. A surprising game here. In the bottom of the sixth, you had Gavin Sheets hitting an RBI single to make it 1-0 Chicago. Scoring only opened up late in this one. After that, you had Marcell Ozuna tying the game up in the top of the seventh, hitting his second home run of the season, tying the game up at 1. Bottom of the seventh, Paul DeJong hit his second home run of the year, making it 2-1 Chicago. Then Andrew Vaughn in the bottom of the eighth made it 3-1 with an RBI single. Marcell Ozuna would hit his second home run of the game, but it would not matter as the score would end up being 3-2 Chicago. So a really bad loss here by Atlanta, only making them 3-2 on the season here. I understand it's early, but losing games to the White Sox is not what you want to be doing. Every game matters in this sport right now, and losing to a team like the White Sox, who are not good whatsoever, and when you're trying to be the Braves of old, is really not good in my opinion. So kind of a negative there. You had Reynaldo Lopez going, one of his first starts in a long time in his career. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. So a really strong outing by him. Yes, it is against the White Sox, but that's his old team, so there could have been some emotions there as well. So again, if the Braves can turn Reynaldo Lopez into a really quality starter, that changes the dynamic of the team drastically and makes them so much better in the pitching department. It makes them so much deeper. So I think that really that's what you need right now if you are a Braves fan. After that, for the White Sox, they had Garrett Crochet, their ace, going. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Just an incredible outing by him. He's really, really done well since turning into a starting pitcher. Was a reliever to start his career, obviously, but has shown people now why he was a top draft pick and why he can be a starting pitcher. So if I was a White Sox fan, I'd be really excited about Garrett Crochet's future, as he's done really, really well. Next, we have Red Sox Athletics again. In the top of the first, we have Trevor Story opening the scoring up early, making it 1-0 Boston with a RBI double, scoring Rafael Devers. After that, in the top of the second, Jarren Duran getting some insurance runs, hitting an RBI single to score Tristan Casas. We move to the bottom of the second now. Shea Langoliers ties up the game, hitting a 2-run homer, scoring new A. J.D. Davis. So nice job by the A's to fight back here. Pablo Reyes hits an RBI single, scoring Tyler O'Neill, making it 3-2 Boston. Then J.J. Bleday hits his first home run as an Oakland A. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but just how it ended out. Scoring Ryan Noda, making it 4-3 Oakland. So they take the lead here for the first time in the game. Trevor Story ties the game up in the top of the 7th with another RBI single, scoring Jarren Duran. Top of the 11th now in extras, of course. Tyler O'Neill grounds it to a double play. J.D. Davis to Zach Eloff to Ryan Noda. Wilyer Abreu does score, and it makes it 5-4 Boston. Oakland could not come back even with the ghost runner, and they would end up losing to the Red Sox again, 5-4. So a really strong game by the Red Sox to fight back in extra innings, even after blowing the lead a few times. Again, it is the A's, but again, this is more of a transition year for the Red Sox, and any win they can get is really a positive. So good job for them there. The A's had Alex Wood going. He went 5 innings, giving up 3 earned runs, striking out 7, walking 2. Not a great start, especially against an offense like Boston, but you would really like to ask for more. But again, he pitches for the A's for a reason, so really not much you can ask for. Boston, we have Brian Bayo, went 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. Not a great start, especially against Oakland. You definitely want more. You don't want 4 earned runs in 5 innings against the A's. Bayo definitely needs to pick it up if he is going to live that extension. I still believe in him. I still think he's a great player, but not a great start to open up the season. But again, no real reason to worry right now. It's so early in the season. Next game we'll be talking about is Guardians-Mariners. Going to right here, the top of the 4th, we have Will Brennan hitting an RBI single to score Jose Ramirez, making it 1-0 Cleveland. They open up the scoring. Same inning, Bo Naylor hits a 2-run homer, scoring Will Brennan, making it 3-0 Cleveland. So a really nice job to jump ahead early for this young Cleveland team. Then Stephen Kwan in the top of the 5th, he makes it 4-0 with an RBI single to score Brian Rocchio. Top of the 7th now, Tyler Freeman gets some more insurance runs for Cleveland, hitting a sacrifice fly to make it 5-0. Mariners try to come back in the bottom of the 7th with a Josh Rojas RBI double and a J.P. Crawford RBI groundout to make it 5-2. But it would be no match for the Guardians' late inning bullpen, as they would fail to score again, and Cleveland would win the game 5-2. So a really nice job by Cleveland to win this game and have a really nice game so far. 4-2 so far in the season. Can't ask for much else if you are a Guardians fan. Shane Bieber, of course, was the pitcher yesterday, I should say. Again, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, no earned runs. So 9 strikeouts, no walks, so an ace-level outing for Shane Bieber. This is the type of things you want to see if you are a Guardians fan. Really strong outing by him. Manuel Clase got one of his first saves of the season, so great job by him to close it out. With Seattle, you had Luis Castillo going, 5 2/3, 10 hits, 4 earned runs. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Not a great outing, especially for a guy like Luis Castillo. Giving up 10 hits to the Guardians offense when you are a pitcher of his caliber is not great, not something you would like, and not something you expect. So definitely not a positive there. But again, it's early in the season. I'm not worrying if I'm a Mariners fan, but you would definitely like to see that start be better in the future as well. Next game we will be talking about is no games, because that is the end of the AL game so far. There have been a lot of interleague games so far in this season, and as I've said before, the way I determine interleague games is whoever wins. So if an NL team wins an interleague game, it's for the NL segment. So I guess you can see a lot of NL teams won. So yeah, that was our first segment, just recapping the AL games of yesterday. We'll be going to a break here, but after that we'll be talking about our second segment, which is going to be the NL games. Of course, we just talked about the AL games, so we're going to recap the NL games now. So yeah, we'll be going to a break, and we'll see you after that. So thanks, and see you then. Bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We're going to go into our second segment here, but before we do that, I'd like to ask you again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get run in the air, please use the link gsmcpodcast.net. Really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot. So thank you so much for that, and let's get back into our second segment here of the day. All right, so we just talked about AL games and recapping them from yesterday and the action that went on. So now we'll be talking about the NL games and what happened there. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So first game we are going to be talking about, it's Twins-Brewers. A really interesting matchup here of two teams off to nice starts to the season. Milwaukee is undefeated, so let's see if they can stay that way. Bottom of the second now, Jackson Chourio hits an RBI single in his first at-bat with the home crowd in Milwaukee, scoring Rhys Hoskins, making it 1-0 Milwaukee early. Christian Yelich then hits a home run on a hanging fastball by a Twins starting pitcher. It was right down the middle. I was actually watching this game, so yeah, it was a pretty horrible fastball. If you watched the Brewers-Twins game yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. But wow, it was really bad. So then in the same inning, we had Bryce Terang hitting an RBI double, scoring Rhys Hoskins, making it 3-0 Milwaukee early in the bottom of the third. In the top of the fourth, Matt Wallner hit a sacrifice fly to Jackson Chourio, scoring Alex Kirilloff. So Twins trying to get some runs back in the top of the fourth here. Top of the seventh, Christian Vasquez would also hit a sacrifice fly, making it 3-2 Milwaukee, but they would not score after that, and the game would end up being 3-2 Milwaukee. And Milwaukee stays undefeated so far, 4-0. Opened up the season really strong against the Mets, and now opened up the homestand with a win. So looking at the pitching scores here, we had Gus Varland going 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Not a great at all. Sorry, Louis Varland. I don't know why I said Gus. So not a great start at all for Louis Varland and the Twins. So you definitely want it to be better than that. He is going to be a very important pitching piece for you, a very important depth piece. And that is someone you definitely want to see perform better. For the Brewers here, they had Jacob Junis on the mound, more of a swing man than a full starting pitcher, which is why he only went 4 innings. So he went 4 innings, even though 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Pretty solid start for Jacob Junis, really all you can ask for. I don't think there's anything too crazy about that. But again, it is Jacob Junis. You're not looking for him to be an ace-level pitcher, so it's really all you can hope for with him. Bullpen was also shut down. Elvira Peguero, Homie Milner, Joel Pampas, and Abner Abreu. I apologize if I butchered any of those names, but they were really solid out of the bullpen. Brewers' bullpen has always been one of their strong suits. Yes, they did lose their best reliever, who was Devin Williams, but their bullpen is still pretty great, which shows you the amount of talent they have there right now. Next game we'll be talking about is Phillies-Reds, a really high-scoring one in this one. Bryce Harper had yet to have a hit this season. Well, that changed in this game. Bottom of the first at-bat, hits a home run on a fly ball, making it 1-0 Philly to start. Top of the third, Will Benson answers back with an RBI double, scoring Tyler Stevenson, tying the game up at 1. Bryce Harper then hits his second home run of the season and the day, making it 2-1 Philly with a solo home run. Bottom of the sixth here, Bryson Stott reached on a fielding error by Ellie De La Cruz, scoring Trey Turner. So, nice job by Philly to capitalize on that and make it 3-1 early. Then, bottom of the seventh is where everything came crashing down for Cincinnati. Kyle Schwarber hit an RBI single, and with the bases loaded, Bryce Harper hit his 3rd hit of the season, and his 3rd home run of the season, and his 3rd home run of the day. A grand slam, scoring Johan Rojas, Kyle Schwarber, and Trey Turner, bringing the house down, making it 8-1 Philly. And the Reds had no answer after that. They scored some, but it was irrelevant after that. So an amazing game by Bryce Harper to really bounce back. He had a rough couple of first games, but I think it's showing everyone that these are only the first games of the season. People are rusty. Do not make any takes on the first games of the season. Mets fans, don't do it. I know you want to because we don't have any wins, but you can relax. It's okay. Lindor doesn't have any. Lindor has like 1 hit. I understand, but it's going to happen. Okay, you got to be patient. I think Harper's showing that. As I said, the Reds scored some more runs, but it was just an exercise in futility at that point. Top of the 8th, Jonathan India reached on a throwing error by Alec Boehm, scoring Tyler Stevenson, making it 8-2. Brennan Marsh would hit some more insurance run, would get some more insurance for the Phillies, hitting a solo home run, his second of the year, making it 9-2 Philly. Spencer Steer with an RBI single, making it 9-3, and Nick Martini would hit a sacrifice fly, making it 9-4. But again, didn't matter, as the Phillies would be already winning this game 9-4. So for the Reds, they had Graham Ashcraft going. He was really good, honestly, going six innings, only 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. So it was really solid. Just the bullpen was not great for him. Brent Suter was not good in one of his first appearances for the Reds. For the Phillies, they had going Spencer Turnbull, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, no walks. A really, really strong start for him. Guy who's going to make a lot of starts for them with the injury to Taijuan Walker. So that's really all you can ask for, that and more. You then had here, coming out of the bullpen, you had Ricardo Pinto, who was just caught up the day before. Got an Uber to the stadium, got there in the 4th inning, said hi to the manager, then went out for 4 innings and got the save. So an incredible story there. Maybe the guy can be a big part of the Phillies bullpen going into the year. But yeah, just a really, really nice story there. These are always guys you want to root for to win. And just a really nice story there for the Phillies to able to get that guy in the game and for him to perform that well as well. Next, we have the game of Cubs-Rockies. The Cubs are off to an okay start, trying to get over 500, and the Rockies were 1-4 before this game. So let's see what can happen with this. Bottom of the first, Seiya Suzuki opens up the scoring very easily with a 2-run homer. Bottom of the second now, Nick Magical hit an RBI single, scoring Garrett Cooper, making it 3-0. Then Christopher Morel hit a home run, making it 4-0. Then Nick Magical hit an RBI double, making it 6-0. Then Ian Happ hit an RBI single, making it 7-0. Then Garrett Cooper hit a 3-run home run, making it 10-0 Chicago. So as you can tell, the Cubs scored a lot of runs, and they did it in 10-0 fashion. Michael Toglia tried getting some insurance for Colorado in the top of the 7th, hitting his first home run of the season, making it 10-2. But Cody Bellinger would answer back with a 2-run homer of his own, making it 12-2. So, yeah, a really strong hitting performance by the Cubs bats. I think that they have a really strong core there in place, and it's really all you can hope for if you are a Cubs fan, these players performing this well. So, really strong outing by them. Kyle Freeland is so bad. I mean, this guy's so bad now. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, more walks than strikeouts, giving up 2 home runs. So far in the season now, he has 5.2 innings pitched in 2 games, and it's a 27 flat ERA. This guy's been so bad. I mean, wow, has he been bad. This is a guy I thought had a lot of potential a few years ago. No, he does not. Oh, man, he's been bad. Not to dog on him, but man, oh man, the Rockies are not good. Next game we are going to be talking about is Cardinals-Padres. We jump into the bottom of the second here. Luis Campusano hitting an RBI single, scoring Jurickson Profar, making it 1-0 San Diego early. Mason Wynn would then answer back with a sacrifice fly, tying up the game 1-1. Tyler Wade would then hit an RBI double for San Diego, making it 2-1. So they would take the lead there. Nice job by Tyler Wade, who's had a really strong start to his season, honestly, with San Diego. Was a guy a lot of people made fun of back when he was with the Yankees. But has been a solid player for San Diego so far, so that's really all you can ask for a guy like him. Top of the 6th, Wilson Contreras would take the lead for the Cardinals with a 2-run homer, scoring Brendan Donovan. And in the top of the 8th is when it would all blow open for the Cardinals. Nolan Arenado would reach on a fielding error by Tyler Wade, making it 4-2. And Ivan Herrera would hit a sacrifice fly, making it 5-2. And the Padres would not score another run, making the final score 5-2 St. Louis. So a really strong win here by St. Louis. For them, they had Miles Michaelis on the mound. He went 6 innings, giving up only 2 runs, and only 4 strikeouts, though, as well, but still only 2 runs against this lineup in 6 is pretty good. Much better than his opening day start against the Dodgers. And, again, if the Cardinals want to be competitive at all, they need these middle rotation guys to step up and play better than what we think they can be. Next, for the Padres, they had Yu Darvish on the mound. An okay start for him. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Not great. I mean, he did go 7 innings, only gave up 3 runs, but still, they could have been a little better, but still not a bad start at all. And if I'm a Padres fan, I'd more be complaining about the offense now. So that's really all you can say if you are a Padres fan. Next game we have is Diamondbacks-Yankees. Yankees are undefeated. Let's see if they can stay that way. The bottom of the first here, we had Blaze Alexander hitting an RBI single to score Ketel Marte. Then Eugenio Suarez and Gabby Moreno would both hit RBI singles to make it 3-0 in the bottom of the first, so not a great start for Nasty Nestor with the Yankees. Christian Walker would then bring the house down with a 3-run homer, making it 6-0, and then a wild pitch by Jake Cousins would make it 7-0 Arizona. The Yankees would never score, only getting 3 hits on the day. A masterful outing by Zach Gallen, too, and so the Diamondbacks would break up the Yankees' undefeated season. So a really strong game by them. Nestor Cortez was not good, giving 5 innings, giving up 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Yes, only 3 earned runs, but they came at the start of the game, and he also did walk some people and give up a lot of hits, so kept the pressure on for the Yankees, even though he did get out of it, so I wouldn't consider that a good start so far. Victor Gonzalez and Jake Cousins, 2 new additions, were both not good out of the bullpen, so you would like those guys to perform better if they are going to be valuable pieces of depth for your team this year. Diamondbacks, of course, won 7-0, so a great job by the Bats, but Zach Gallen, against his hometown team growing up in Jersey, went 6 innings pitched, only giving up 3 hits, no runs, 3 walks, which is a little concerning, but 6 strikeouts, so it's okay. 0.82 ERA in the season. An amazing job by Gallen, and just a great start by him. I had him as a Cy Young candidate, and I stay by that. He's going to be a great pitcher this year. Bullpen was also great. Bryce Jarvis, Ryan Thompson. You also had, coming out of the bullpen, you had Scott McGow. So really nice job by the Diamondbacks bullpen to perform really well and close out the game for a masterful Zach Gallen start. So, it was a good run by the Yankees, but I don't think anyone thought they were going to stay undefeated forever. So nice job here by the Diamondbacks to break that up and finally hand the Yankees their first loss. I'm sure many baseball fans who don't like the Yankees are very happy about that. Next, we have Giants-Dodgers, another, just like yesterday, a rival game here. Freddie Freeman hit an RBI single in the bottom of the first to open up the scoring Mookie Betts. Top of the second, Nick Ahmed hits an RBI single to tie the game up, making it 1-1. Mike Conforto would then hit an RBI single to make it 2-1 San Francisco. Then Mookie Betts would hit his 5th home run of the season. 5 home runs, man. He's so good. He's just so incredible, honestly. He really is. Next, there we would have Gavin Lux hitting an RBI double, making it 3-2 Los Angeles, so they would take the lead. Enrique Hernandez would then hit an RBI single to make it 5-0 Los Angeles, 5-2 Los Angeles, sorry. Giants would then attempt to come back a little. Jorge Soler hitting his first home run of the season for San Francisco, making it 5-3. Then Thairo Estrada would ground into a force out, which would score Mike Conforto, so making it 5-4 in the top of the 6th. But no more scoring for the Giants would be in the cards, and they would fall to their division rival Dodgers 5-4. Going through the pitching scores here now for the Dodgers first, they would have a opener on the mound today in Ryan Brazier. He went 1 inning, but then you would have the main bulk guy, which is Ryan Yarbrough, going 4 1/3, giving up 4 runs, so it was not good whatsoever. But the bullpen after him was good. Alex Vesia, Michael Grove, and Evan Phillips were all outstanding out of the bullpen. So, yes, Yarbrough, the bulk guy, wasn't great, but everyone else other than him pretty much was. So that's all you can really ask for if the first guy does not perform. So, yeah, a good start here by the Dodgers to open the season up at 5-2. Disappointing start for the Giants at 2-4, but they've had a rough start to the season with the schedule, so you're not really going to complain too much if you are a Giants fan. So, yeah, that was the second segment of the show, recapping the NL games of yesterday. Some really exciting games. There's a lot of interleague games so far to open the season. Hopefully that changes, and we can get some more NL games. So, yeah, a lot of low-scoring games as well. Not many high-scoring games. I mean, the highest ones were 9-4 and then 12-2, which are obviously high-scoring. But after that, it was just kind of regular ones. So, yeah, an exciting day of baseball yesterday. But this game's going on right now as well, so we'll be recapping those at the end of the show. And, yeah, we'll be going to our third segment here, which is going to be talking about some standout players so far in the start of the season. So, yeah, we'll be talking about that, and we'll be going to a break first. So we'll see you after that, and thanks, bye.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
All right, we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our third segment, which is going to be talking about some standout players so far in the start of the year for this young MLB season. Now, I want to make it clear before we start that I'm not going to be including pitchers on this list. I did want to, but thinking about it, pitchers have only pitched 1 or 2 starts this season, so it wouldn't really be fair to include them on this list because we don't know how they're going to be the entire season, and giving them a standout player like nod as for one start would kind of just be not a great process. So they are not on this list, but there's still been some great pitchers this season. So so first player we're going to be talking about is the man, the myth, the legend, Mookie Betts. Now, Mookie is off to a phenomenal start this season. 30 at-bats under his belt, a 500 average, 1.772 OPS, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. Just incredible, incredible. 5 home runs already. I mean, this guy's so amazing. And every day, as the days goes on for Mookie Betts in a Dodgers uniform, we realize how horrible that Red Sox trade was. I'm sorry, Red Sox fans, but man, oh man, he's so good. And you guys traded him for Jeter Downs, who then got released and then was picked up by the Yankees. Then you also traded Connor Wong, who's the fine catcher, I guess, backup catcher, he's whatever. And I mean, Alex Verdugo, who's now on the Yankees. So yeah, not a great return for Mookie Betts. I understand he didn't want to stay. That's what the reports are anyways. We don't really know if that's true. He's publicly rebuted that. I'm not really sure what to believe, but you could have gotten so much more from Mookie. I understand it was salary. It was getting rid of salary, but man, he's such a good player. It's really so unfortunate what had to be done. He has a 323 WRC plus for the season. Now, I am personally a big fan of advanced stats. I talk about it a lot. I don't talk about it as much on the show because I know a lot of people aren't as well versed in it and they like to stick to the more traditional stats, which is fine. I don't really see a problem with that. But if you don't know what WRC plus is, it's weighted runs created plus, and it is basic. So the league average for 100 is always going to be 100, the flat number. So for weighted runs created plus, if you are over 100, you're whatever percentage better than league average. So, for example, Pete Alonso, if he were to have a 120 WRC plus, he would be 20% better than league average. Mookie Betts currently has a 323 WRC plus. So Mookie Betts currently is 232% better than the league average right now, which is that's really good. That's really good. I mean, he has 1.4 F4 already in the season, a .702 WOBA, just an incredible start to his season. 5 home runs already is just insane. And the Dodgers are going to, if they want to be competitive, they have to rely on Mookie. And so far, he's been pretty incredible living up to that standard of his name. So, yeah, pretty incredible. Next player we're going to be talking about is sort of a surprise this early in the season, which is Anthony Volpe. Only 17 at-bats because he missed a few games with a stomach sickness, but a 5.29 average, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and a 1.501 OPS. A really amazing start to the season for Volpe. Broke out at the end of last year, was really great with the glove, and started hitting at the end. And I think he's going to be a big part of the Yankees core moving forward, and is going to be a really, really good player that Yankees fans are going to love to watch for the upcoming seasons. A 341 WRC plus for him, so again, really incredible seasons for both him and Mookie. Only .7 F4 because he did miss a game or two, but still is having honestly an incredible season right now. Again, the Yankees have been looking at a solution at shortstop for a little while since Jeter retired. Yes, you had guys like Didi Gregorius there, but are they really the superstar you want for the New York Yankees at the shortstop position? I don't think so. I think you needed someone, and getting a guy like Volpe in there, who's a top prospect, who's been incredible so far in his MLB career, is from the tri-state area, is a hometown kid, legend. So I think it's a really great storyline, and Volpe performing really well for the Yankees would be such a fun thing to watch and such a fun thing to see. So I'm really excited for Volpe, and good for him that he is performing. And yeah, just nice job overall that he is doing really well. After that, the next player we'll be talking about is from the Milwaukee Brewers, and that is going to be Bryce Turang. Now, Bryce Turang has been off to a really great start so far in this season, having a .438 average in 16 at-bats, no home runs, but 2 RBIs and 6 stolen bases already, 1.007 OPS. Turang really impressed me when I watched him play the Mets. The glove was really, really solid. He was hitting well. I mean, overall, it's been a really solid player for Milwaukee, and is going to be a guy I think is going to be a big part of that core. 209 WRC plus so far. Again, very early to be looking fully into baseball stats and making full determinations, but guys starting off really hot is always an amazing thing to watch, and always something to keep your eye out for. If they start hot now, they're going to keep going for the season. They're going to keep going through the season warm and keep it going. So, I mean, if you are a Brewers fan, you want to look towards this young hitting core. You want to look towards the guys you have, including Jackson Chourio, including Sal Frelick. But Bryce Turang is one of the other big guys there, and he's been incredible so far. So a big positive here for Milwaukee fans. Has been really great with the speed and stolen bases. Has been really great with the gloves. Has been really great with the glove, not gloves. Glove. So yeah, has been a great player so far for Milwaukee, and a guy I think all Brewers fans are going to be really excited to watch for the future, and are going to be excited to see how his career does unfold. Next player I'll be talking about is Astros catcher Yainer Diaz. Now, Yainer has took the starting catcher role over for the Astros after Martin Maldonado left in free agency, and he's really run with that so far. Again, short sample size, but has done really, really well. 21 at-bats, .476 average, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 1.352 OPS. A guy I think has a lot of pure power. Showed it all out last year, even as the backup. So, yeah, a guy I'm really excited to watch as the future goes on, and excited to see where his potential does end up leading him. I think he can be a really, really good player, and I really am a fan of his power. I was a fan of him last year, even though he didn't start for some reason. I'm glad new manager JioSaavn made the right decision to start him, even with a quality backup at Victor Caratini. But yes, he might have to work in his defense a little bit, but he's such an amazing hitter. Again, that pure power is truly incredible. A 300 WRC plus so far, 0.6 WAR as a catcher. That's just great. I do think he'll be a top 10 catcher in baseball rather quickly. I think the young core of catchers coming up are pretty incredible, and I think they have a lot of talent to show. And don't worry, we'll be talking about one more as this segment does go on. Next player we have on the list here is Reds infielder Spencer Steer. The Reds have had a lot of injuries and unfortunate situations happen to their bullpen so far their infield so far in the season, and having Spencer Steer perform has been really, really great for this team. 20 at-bats, .474 average, 1 home run, 8 RBIs. Of course, hit a grand slam a few days ago. 1.261 OPS, so a really, really strong start to the season by Spencer Steer. A guy I'm really looking forward to watching as the season does go on, and seeing what he can do as a member of the Reds team. 221 WRC plus, 0.4 WAR. Again, only 1 home run, but the home run was a big one, being in a grand slam against a really good Phillies team. So, yeah, all you can really ask for right now if you're a Reds fan. You've had so many unfortunate situations with PED suspensions and injuries in your infield right now. With the infield before being seen as one of your biggest strong suits of depth, losing these guys is a big hit to that. And, having your regulars like Spencer Steer performing, I think is a pretty great thing, and I think is something that you really like to look towards as a positive, and is something that you are really excited about going into the future and as this year. Next person we'll be talking about is a new addition to a team, which is Pittsburgh Pirates outfielder Michael A. Taylor. In 17 at-bats, has a 1.064 OPS, 4 RBIs, and a stolen base, but other than that has been great in the glove. Has been starting and not starting. They're yet to determine his full everyday role, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, has been really great so far in the at-bats he's had. Again, very small, but Taylor is a veteran addition to this young Pirates team that I thought was a big positive to them. I thought it was a really great signing. A lot of teams wanted Michael A. Taylor, and the Pirates got him, which shows they have some pull right now. 166 WRC plus, so a really great start for the season. Again, looking for your first home run right now, but you still take that because he is playing such great defense, and you know that's not his main strong suit. So he brings a lot more to your team other than the bat, including veteran leadership, including great defense in that outfield. So I think Michael A. Taylor has really worked out so far for the Pirates and has been a very positive signing for them. Next player we talk about is another new addition to a team, Jesse Winker. Now, Winker's had a very turbulent few seasons. Was a great player with the Reds, was an all-star there, got traded to the Mariners, did not work out there. The Mariners then traded him to the Brewers, did not work out there. So has had two pretty bad seasons in the past 2 years. So he was really looking for a bounce back with this young Nationals team, and that's what he's getting this year so far. Not having a home run, but having an RBI in 11 at-bats, 1.116 OPS. Now, again, small at-bat sample, but he's hit the ball really well. He's made some great contact, some good exit velocity, and has been a good player so far. I'm not really buying into a huge revelation for his career. I don't think he's going to magically become the Jesse Winker of old, but I still think he's a really good player, and I still think he's a guy that could potentially be a good trade piece for the Nationals if he does get back some of his old form. Even if he's an above-average hitter, I think that would be such a positive development for the Nationals. Basically signing this guy for nothing and flipping him for a solid prospect, I think that would be just such a great process by the Nationals, and something these teams that are not very good have to, something they should do more. And I think that it would be a great process by the Nationals and a great move overall if they were to do it. Again, we're getting very ahead of ourselves, but Winker's been performing well. So, finally, the last man we're talking about is another young catcher. We had Yanner Diaz before, so it's time for the other one, Francisco Alvarez. So far has been amazing for the Mets. 14 at-bats, a home run, 2 RBIs, 1.253 OPS. Has been amazing in his short sample size. Has hit for power, has been hitting some extra bases, has been hustling, there we go. Has been hitting the ball really, really hard, and is building off that strong season last year with the Mets. I think this guy is clearly a big part of the Mets' young core, and is clearly going to be a fixture in this lineup going forward. I think he's going to be a top 5 catcher in baseball at the end of the year, maybe even higher if he can put it all together with the defense. So, yeah, I think Francisco Alvarez is an amazing player, and a guy I think every Mets and baseball fan should know, should be a household name relatively soon. So, yeah, a really, really great player, and a guy I think is going to make a lot of opposing pitchers in the NL East mad for a lot of years to come. So that was our third segment here, talking about some breakout players. I know it's early in the season, but I did want to touch upon it. I did want to talk about some guys I thought were performing really well. And these select players I chose: Anthony Volpe, Mookie Betts, Bryce Terang, Yanner Diaz, Spencer Steer, Michael A. Taylor, Jesse Winker, and Francisco Alvarez, I thought were good players to talk about. So yeah, we're going to go to our fourth segment here, which is going to be talking about some general news stories around the league. There were a good amount today and yesterday as well, so I really wanted to touch upon these and talk about it. Then at the end of the segment, we'll be talking about the games that are currently going on and what action has happened so far. So yeah, that's it. We'll be going to a break, and we'll see you after that. Thanks, bye.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
All right, we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fourth and final segment, which is going to be touching upon some general news stories around the league, just some general news around the league that I did want to talk about. Now, usually these are news stories that I thought were not notable enough to talk about for a full 15 minutes, but I thought were still good enough to mention and put here. So usually this is what I do. in my fourth segment, unless some big news does happen, and I want to talk about that instead, and I don't have time for it. So, yeah, let's get into it. So the first one is a relatively not big news story, but something that I think was pretty notable that happened a few hours ago. The New York Mets and free agent starter Julio Teheran are in agreement on a 1-year Major League contract. Teheran had a career resurgence kind of with the Brewers last year, was out of Major League Baseball for a little bit after some really solid season with the Braves, came back with Milwaukee, had a really amazing start to the season with them, then ironically got blown up by the Mets in a middle of the year start and was not the same after that, ended the year off with a 3.80 ERA. So was not horrible, but was not amazing either. It was just a good depth piece for the Brewers, who had a lot of rotation injuries last year. So it was a good job for Teheran to fill in there. So the reasoning the Mets signed Teheran was, simply put, they need pitching depth. They first of all lost their ace early in spring training, and then lost Tyler McGill, the man brought in the rotation to replace him. Now, Teheran originally signed with the Orioles on a $100K bonus if he would make the roster, but he did not make the roster and ended up getting released. And the Mets apparently came in second to him when he signed with the Orioles. So it was pretty likely that once he got cut from the Orioles and the Mets got these pitching injuries, that they would be signing him. I mentioned it yesterday as well, that it looked like a possibility, and it did end up happening today. Am I happy about this deal? I am. I think it's a good, solid signing by the Mets. I don't think Teheran could be any worse than some of the options we do have. I think he's just a good major league pitcher who brings depth, eats innings, doesn't do anything extraordinary, but you can rely on him for 5 or 6 okay innings. Now, the Mets have a lot of young quality starters in the rotation that in the minor leagues that I would like to see in the rotation. Guys like Jose Butto, Christian Scott, Mike Vasile, Dominic Hamill, even an older guy like Joey Lucchesi. But at the same time, we can't bring these guys up yet for contract situations, especially Jose Butto, who I and many other Mets fans have been pushing for to get a real opportunity in the rotation. I still think that should be the case, but Teheran for now, until the young pitchers can get into the major leagues, I think is a good signing. The Mets had their game rained out yesterday and today. They announced it a few hours before the show today, so they'll be doing a doubleheader tomorrow. Split admission, so 12:10 and then 7:10, I assume. We will be talking about the first game on stream tomorrow if it is happening, so I'll let you guys know about that. But yeah, I think a good signing here for the Mets for Teheran. I think he makes a lot of sense where the team is right now, and I don't think he's a bad option. So yeah, I think a good, solid signing by the Mets here, and something I'm looking forward to watching as the season does go on and seeing what does happen with him. Some other news we have now is first Josh Jung. We obviously had a full segment on Josh Jung yesterday about his injury and the big deal it was for the Texas Rangers. So if you would like to see that, please go look on my channel. It is there from yesterday's clips. I cut them all into 4 segments on YouTube. So just look up Josh Jung in the channel and you'll find it. So I did have a full segment talking about his injury and the effects it has on the Texas Rangers. But we now know the full timeline here, so I wanted to mention that. He's going to be out 8 to 10 weeks, which is a little longer than I thought yesterday. It seemed yesterday it would be 6 weeks, but 8 to 10 is not that much longer, but it is still pretty long in my opinion. I mean, losing your starting third baseman for 8 to 10 weeks is not something good, especially a player of Josh Jung's caliber. Was really breaking out this season, had a great start, had a great game against the Rays before he fractured his wrist. And having this guy out for what is likely to be 8 or 9 weeks is really a big blow. Now, the Rangers do have a lot of replacements on the roster, as I talked about yesterday. Ezekiel Duran, Justin Fausker they just called up, probably for this reason, and Josh Smith, who's a bench bat. So we'll see who they end up playing. We'll see who they end up playing at third base regularly, and who ends up becoming their third baseman now that Josh Jung is hurt. Again, a big blow for the Rangers, and something I think Rangers fans should be worried about as the season goes on, and seeing what does end up happening with that third base position. Some other news now we have is the Marlins. They traded for Emmanuel Rivera from the Diamondbacks. Rivera was DFA'd before, and they now moved on from him officially, trading him to the Marlins. I think it's a really solid move by the Marlins, honestly. I think Emmanuel Rivera is a really solid depth piece and a guy who can perform and be a positive asset for the Marlins. This is a guy who played in the World Series last year, was starting for them in a few games in the playoffs, and while he isn't the best player, he's definitely not bad, and I think he's a good depth move for the Marlins, who need as much hitting depth as they can get. I think getting him for relatively nothing is a really good move, and a really good signing. Is a really good trade for them. So yeah, I like the depth move by the Marlins, and I think he will be a good solid piece for them going forward. Next, we have the Yankees. They signed former Mets, Brewers, and Dodgers reliever Phil Bickford to a minor league contract. Bickford did not make the Mets bullpen out of opening day and was then cut and signed a minor league contract with the Yankees. Again, as I talked about it, the Yankees are masters of depth, signing so many MLB caliber players to their depth team. Just trading for Jake Cousins, of course, calling him up. He was very valuable depth. I think Phil Bickford is going to be as well. Phil Bickford is a guy I would consider to be 4A. Not too good for AAA, but not good enough to stick as a major leaguer. I think there are a lot of people like that in the minors, and I think Phil Bickford is one of them. So I think it was a really nice job by the Yankees to pick this guy up. I'm wondering about the hair now because Phil Bickford is known for his very amazing long blonde hair. So if he has to cut that now, I think it would take away from his ability a little bit. But yeah, I guess that's kind of what you sign up for when you sign with the Yankees. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what he looks like there as well. So yeah, I think a really solid signing here for the Yankees. Just a really good depth move, and I'd be excited about this as a Yankees fan. I think it's a good move. Next, we have the Dodgers. They have claimed former top prospect Taylor Trammell off waivers from the Seattle Mariners. This is a really interesting move that I wanted to talk about. I also talked about it in the short last night, but that didn't really go into depth. But if you want to look at that, please go on GSMC Sports Network channel. Go to shorts. You'll find my face, and you'll see Taylor Trammell in the title, and you'll see that. So with the Dodgers picking up Trammell, I think he's really good outfield depth, especially with the injury to Jason Hayward. You don't know how long that is going to bother him. It's not an IL situation, but it is just kind of an older player getting a back thing situation where you might have to deal with it for the rest of the year and the rest of his career. So I think bringing in Trammell as a lefty bat is a nice move, and maybe you see something left in the tank with him. You know, he was a former top prospect with the Reds, with the Padres, and with the Mariners before. So bringing him into that organization like the Dodgers, who know how to get top prospects back to their full potential, I think is a really nice move by his team and himself as well, signing there. So yeah, I think it's a really great claim by the Dodgers, and I think it's just an overall good depth move for them. A really interesting trade that happened last night was the Pirates trading for former second overall pick Joey Bart. Now, Bart was DFA'd by the Giants a few days ago. Not in really a surprising move, as he kind of fell out of favor with the Giants organization, even after being picked second overall by the team. Patrick Bailey, the young catcher, was the guy who really took the reins from him and became a really good player. So, again, not too surprising. So I mentioned some places I thought Bart could have been traded, like the Marlins or the A's or something, but I did not expect the Pirates. But more thinking about it now, I think it's a good move. It's a good move. They have some catching depth, but Andy Rodriguez is out for the season. Yasmani Grandal is still rehabbing. So bringing in Bart as a short-term backup for Henry Davis is a really good move. You could see if he has anything left in the tank, and being in the rebuilding situation the Pirates are in, I think that playing him for some time whenever Henry Davis needs a day off, or even playing him at DH if you want to see if he has anything at all left in the tank would be really nice. Again, this guy was a former second overall pick, former top prospect, a guy I was really high on and I thought was going to be really good. So it's not like he was just some random prospect. So I think seeing if he has anything at all left is a really solid move by the Pirates, and I like to trade for them. Didn't give up much, and it's good for Joey Bart as well to get a fresh start. He's not going to work out in San Francisco, obviously, so good for him to go to Pittsburgh now. The Mariners have signed former Cy Young winner Dallas Keuchel to a minor league contract. Keuchel pitched with the Twins a little bit last year, was not great, but was just okay. I think it's a good depth move by the Marlins, especially they've had some pitching injuries to start the year to Brian Wu, more especially, who's going to be out for a little bit. Yes, the Marlins have a lot of pitching depth already. They have one of the more accessible young pitching cores in the league, and AAA as well. But I think Dallas Keuchel is a veteran depth guy that you can bring up in a pinch, maybe starts one game, maybe comes out of the bullpen for a few, and you can see if there's anything there with him. Again, he's a former Cy Young winner. I think it's just a solid overall depth move for the Mariners, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how it does play out and see what does end up happening with Keuchel. The Phillies have DFA'd bullpen arm Connor Brogdon. Kind of surprising, as he was one of their more experienced ones, but he has not performed well over the past year or so, and he was the guy to give up that back-breaking grand slam to Spencer Steer of the Reds a few days ago, which we talked about. So, yeah, not too surprising in a way. I guess it is surprising a little bit, but not too surprising. So, yeah, that was the end of the news here. We're going to be recapping. We're not going to be, sorry, I'm so used to saying that. We're going to talk about the games that are happening currently as I am on stream at 4:24 p.m. So, the games that are currently going on, first we have Boston, Oakland, scoreless in the top of the fourth inning. Two men on right now for Sedena Rafaela in a 2-2 count with one out. So, we'll see if anything happens with that. The Yankees Diamondbacks, as I talked about this, by the way, Aaron Judge just hit his first home run of the season to make it 2-1 Yankees. So really nice job by him to open up the scoring for the Yankees. And yeah, good job for him to finally hit his first home run of the season. I think a lot of Yankees fans have been waiting for it. The Guardians and Mariners are playing. The Guardians are off to a really strong start here against them with Jose Ramirez hitting an RBI double, Will Brennan hitting an RBI single, and Tyler Freeman also hitting an RBI to make it 3-0 Cleveland right now in the bottom of the first. So a really strong start by them to jump all over the starting pitcher of the Mariners, who is, let me get this here, starting pitcher for the Mariners is, sorry about this, it is George Kirby. So yeah, a really good pitcher for them. So a really nice job by this young Cleveland team to get out on offense and hit a really good pitcher there. So it is now bases loaded in the Boston-Oakland game. So just for that. And the last game we have currently is Cardinals-Padres, bottom of the first, 0-0, 2 outs with Ha-Seong Kim on looking to do damage. A lot of games have been delayed today. Met Tigers have been postponed, as I said. Reds Phillies delayed. Royals Orioles delayed. So, a lot of rain going through the East Coast. As an East Coast guy myself, I can tell you it's true. It's been raining all day. So, yeah, not really surprising here. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update on these games going on right now because they are happening, and I want to talk about them because baseball does happen in the afternoon. It's that uniqueness from other sports that I also like about baseball. So, by the way, Boston just scored, making it 1-0. Emmanuel Valdez hit a sacrifice fly, so good job by them to capitalize on that opportunity. All right, so that is the end of the show today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, following the show. Again, you can find us anywhere, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, for more content and updates. Again, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see what baseball throws at us tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.